Hello guys, this is Deepansh Gupta this side, and this is one of the first videos from my side. This video is gonna be about how to use dynamic APIs in Next.js. So basically, I was building a weather application, and I wanted to use dynamic routes in that, but somehow I faced some problems regarding it, and I couldn't actually found some good resources regarding the documentation or the way we need to do it. So great, so let's dive into it right now. So here we have our Next.js program, and I have started the server using npm run dev. It takes a while for the server to start for the first time. So while we are it, let's check some basic working structure of the uh, weather application. Here we are having the node modules in which we have dependencies and the library code for all the various npm packages that you install. Moving on, we have a public folder, then source folder. uh, these are my local environment variables, and then we have git ignore. Here you just mention all the files that you don't want to be uploaded during your git add and git push onto your uh, onto your git account and github account. Then we have and next config.mjs folder. Basically whatever specified changes that you sometimes may need to do, you need to mention them here. Then we have package log.json and package.json, which has dependencies regarding all the libraries that we have used in this particular application. So I'm using Next.js, and for the CSS part I'm using Tailwind. I will ask for your forgiveness first, since I have not yet prepared a good CSS, what you can say, code regarding the application. But I think that this will do the work for this time. Localhost 3000. Okay. And of course, you need to forward to the page. Sure. So, basically, as you can see, in this weather application, I'm using an API to fetch all of these tables data. So basically, I'm using an API for getting all of this data in JSON format, and then I'm using 10 stack library for displaying them in a tabular format. I'm also using, by the way, I'm also using ShedCN. ShedCN is a UI library for the Next.js and React programs, but honestly, they don't work so well in React application from my experience. um, then in the source folder, we have three main folders. The first is app, then components and library. The components folder contains the UI from the shared CN. So basically, button, card, and table are the UI components which I have forked from shared CN. City table and city weather are uh, like my own created components. In pages folder, we have mainly two pages. The first one is the tables page, which you can see right now. So basically it is displaying the list of all the cities, major cities with the highest population. These are the cities with top 100 population in India. And here we have a weather page. The weather page will display the weather of that particular city for the APIs. I've used an open weather application, open weather API. Now, if you want to see the weather of Sachi, we click on it and wait for some time. And here we have the data. So basically, here it's the temperature and description, visibility, UI index. By the way, for the UI, I'm using another API, which is Open UV kind of. Its name is Open UV, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Open UV. So here you can get UV index for free. Here I wanted to display the map, but apparently there is no free map application. You need to submit at least your credit card, and I'm not earning right now, so I'm not gonna give them my parents' credit card number. It may backfire to me. Sure. So now to the API part. So as I said, there are two major pages, the tables and the individual weather page. In the table page, we have this route folder, um, which is using a get handler to get the request from this open data soft API, वगैरह वगैरह. So basically, this is all the tabular data which you can see right here. Uh, then we have time, UV, weather. So these are the APIs about which the video is gonna be. So suppose I clicked on URI. Right now I want URI's day, date, time, uh, temperature, and all this data from open weather application. Uh, Video is running, right? Yeah. So the first thing which you need to do to prepare dynamic routes in your Next.js API is uh, you need to create a folder with the name about the API for sure. Then you need to create a subfolder, and the subfolder must be like this. So basically, if I am to show you right now, you need to create a folder in API. Suppose I want a folder with name, date, time, and a map. So I need to create a folder, map, and then in map again I need to create a subfolder where the name, first of all we need to use square bracket, then three dots, then uh, you can use whatever you want to use, that doesn't matter much, a coordination or data or whatever you I used to like call for like coordinates, and then uh, close square bracket, and then you need to end. Then you need to create a route file, which is route.ts, inside the dot code folder, and here you are. Now let's see, such as we are fetching time here, right? So basically what this API is doing is it is getting a get request from this particular time API, and it is getting the time of a particular city based on latitude and longitude. And this latitude and longitude are the parameters which I am getting from the main pages section, which I will show you right now. So basically here, no, it should be in the component set. So here, yeah, yeah. So here, this is the interface, and then moving on. Yeah. So basically, I'm storing latitude and longitude in my local storage. Uh, Local storage is kind of a storage of an individual browser. So every browser has local storage, and then I'm getting it using local storage dot get item latitude and longitude. I'm storing it. All this code is being mentioned in the use effect section. uh, then I'm checking if I'm rightfully getting the stored latitude and longitude values from my local storage, and they are not returning undefined. Moving on, then here, as you can see, I'm using a fetch to get the data from my Next.js APIs. Here it is, API weather latitude longitude, and as you can see, I'm using tilde here, which kind of works as similar as what you can say, quotation marks, but you can also use variable names with it. So if you want to use variables with your API URL handles, so you need to use tilde, which is the key right on the left of one. Then you have latitude, longitude, and as you can see here, I'm using the fetch, and here this is the part from which the API is fetching the data. Uh, so I'm using the param. Then you need to use whatever you want to, like this is not particular, but whatever name you have used here, like I have used coordination, then you need to mention the data type if you are using TypeScript. So mentioning data type is an important thing in TypeScript. So you need to mention code and whatever, in whichever way you want to. So if you are using a single variable, then there's no need to mention array here. But since I'm using two variables, latitude and longitude, so I'm just getting them in this sense, and that's why I mentioned coordinates array string. uh, so as you can see, now I'm using context city context dot parameter, like this part context dot parents is like a defined way. I cannot really change it, uh, but yeah, and chord are the values which I'm using here, right? So, and here I'm getting latitude and longitude. So basically city is like a normal array in which all the uh, variables which I am using in my pages section, API or something like that. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, so here I'm using latitude and longitude, and as you can see, the get request must have the time mentioned. So request is a kind of request. You can also use next request, uh, but just the request works for me here. In the context, I'm mentioning the parameters are having the kind of params which I've defined type params here. So this is an important part, and you all need to do it in this way. uh, then I'm using like dynamic routes here, let and non, and that's it. Similar to it, there is a UV page, UV API for forking data in this way. And then I also have like a weather API, which is getting the weather from Open Weather Map organization in the similar way. So if any of you is working on a weather application, you can do it in this way, where you are providing a list of all the cities in India or the major cities in the world, and whenever someone clicks on it, it moves on and gives the specialized weather regarding that city instead of just providing the weather for a particular city. That's lame actually. So yeah, that's all from my side. I will try to prepare a better video next time.